BSNBC is done. This is the end. Guys, you're not going to believe how ridiculous this is. We got to react to it. Let's take a look. What is up, gang? Carlton Flowers here with the Go Political channel, and we got to talk about and react to this crazy breaking news story about BSNBC. So they're changing the name, they're getting spun off, and I think this is the end. This is the complete end of this whole news model. So we've got this news story that's out here on the wrap.com, and this new horrible logo that it looks like they threw together, designed by an 8th grader on an old computer, and they're going to become MSNOW. And we're going to talk about it's my source, news, opinion, and world, which is a far cry from what it used to mean and what the old branding was. So on this article, they talk about how it was just announced that MSNBC is going to be rebranded as my source, news, opinion, world. That is so stupid. I can't believe it. And so they're comparing this to the idiotic moves that were done by Warner Brothers when they kept changing the name of HBO to Max and all of the ridiculous names for their rebranding as it was dying. And so I think this is officially the end of this entire news format, this whole business model that is not a business, that doesn't even produce profit. So let's check out this breaking news that they announced on the channel and notice the reactions and notice the stammering and the stuttering and the tone of what's going on. And tell me if you disagree with what I'm noticing, which is that they all know that this is the end. So here we go. Let's just roll this and react to it as it plays.
All right, we have breaking news as it pertains to our network. This morning, a new name for the network by the end of the year. We will become MSNOW, which stands for My Source for News, Opinion, and the World. And look, Andrew, they even have a graphic up. I like it.
There it is.
Actually,
the new logo.
It looks very sporty. As we go to Versant, we're going to be moving in this direction, MSNOW, which I got to say, you know, I got a call yesterday afternoon, and they're saying, "We hope you're okay. We're going." I was like, "What do you mean? Like this shows we're independent." And what I've said on this show time and time again is, you look at the people that are running the company; they're entrepreneurial.
Right.
Like when you have.
Okay, stop. What's with the stammering and the stuttering? So it was obviously bad news. They dropped this bomb on their head and say, "Hey, NBC doesn't want our name associated with this garbage channel that reports nothing but lies and hysteria, and we don't even want our logo on there, so we're snatching the logo." And that's bad news. And he's trying to spin that to good news and then says that they want you to be entrepreneurial. What the hell does that mean? Well, I'll tell you what it means. It means that they're going to have to come up with a way to pay for this garbage channel on their own. That NBC is no longer going to dump money into this whole operation that doesn't make a profit. It doesn't even profit. Okay, so let's go on and listen to what else he has to say.
Have somebody come into your company after working for like big corporations and say, and you're talking, you're saying, and they go, "We want you to be entrepreneurial. We want you to come up with new ideas. We want you to push the boundaries." I'm excited about that, so I'm excited about this too.
They want them to push the boundaries? They've already been pushing the boundaries. Up until now, it's nothing but pushing the boundaries of complete ridiculous conspiracy theories. One of the worst things they ever did on BSNBC is when Rachel Madcow came out with that whole story that Donald Trump, the fascist dictator oligarch, had handed Elon Musk this big fat contract to buy all of the Tesla trucks to use as armored vehicles. And she went in. She completely went in and accused Donald Trump of colluding with his buddy at the time and handing him a big, fat, lucrative deal, and that they're oligarchs. And this was the end of democracy. And then what happened a couple days later? Well, she got corrected. She got corrected. And what they told her was the contract for those Tesla trucks came during the Biden administration. So that's how stupid and absurd this whole channel is. They have knee-jerk reactions where they come up with these cockamamie conspiracies and they're just completely wrong. And then they have to come back and try to apologize and then spin it in a completely different way. So that was I think that was the worst moment for BSNBC that started this whole acceleration to NBC wanting to unload and get them the hell off of their brand. Let's look at a little bit more here.
It's like, what's in the name? Well, whatever you put into the name.
Well, look, my understanding is this decision was a choice by NBC Universal.
Right.
Remember, originally they were going to leave the Peacock with the different units.
Right.
They decided that they wanted that to stay with NBC Universal. Having said that, despite my sentimentality about the Peacock, I've always loved the Peacock.
Yeah.
The truth is, I've always thought about this network and CNBC and USA and actually all of those assets as insurgent networks.
Right.
This is an
Insurgent network? Are you serious? Insurgent network? Yeah, insurgent on stupidity.
Network. And I love the idea, to be honest with you. You can take out your salt shaker or whatever you want to do and say, take it with a grain of salt. But I like this because I think it actually does have this sort of independence and actually gets away in some ways from even the idea of legacy media. Yeah. Right? I mean, I think what you're seeing MS do and what you're seeing some of these other networks do now is not just linear, but by the way, I'm watching you on TikTok now. Do you know that? You know I'm seeing you on TikTok.
So this is a thing, and of course, because I'm hip with the kids, people,
I know.
I actually didn't know this, but this network is the most watched news network on TikTok and on YouTube.
Yeah, because people want to see how ridiculous and stupid you are with the ridiculous insanity that you present, where you completely garble the facts and then you look for evidence to support your conspiracy theories, and then people find out the truth that you're completely lying and making up stuff to keep people in a state of hysteria. Yeah, that's what they do. Let's zip forward a little bit and get to the point where they talk about the name. So it's MSNOW, which is BS now, more the same garbage. But did you know that the MS of MSNBC, that came when Microsoft had partnered with NBC to produce this nonsense left-leaning Democratic news channel. And so then Microsoft pulled away from it and they're like, nah, this is insanity. We want nothing to do with this. But then they just kind of kept the MS name on the NBC. Did you know about that? Now, the funny thing is, some of the people that are right here on the set didn't even know that that's where the name came from. Let's zip forward and listen.
Yes,
right?
It is.
So it meant a lot 5 years ago, 10 years ago.
Seem an ideal time to rebrand, an ideal time to embrace a new identity, to, as you said, to be an insurgent network. MSN.
By the way, it's also a line in the sand just about the future. And the truth is that this network, originally the MS was Microsoft.
Right.
So for a very long time, there has been a rebrand, I would argue, almost in order.
Yeah. What do you think?
I think it's good. Slight
You're just
smile.
Saying that. You're just saying that.
No, I think it's good, and I think I think that I didn't know the MS was from Microsoft. I mean that. Yeah, I think
crazy.
Yeah,
that deal didn't go well for Microsoft.
Yeah,
but
no,
anyway.
it did not.
So let me get this straight. People who are employed and have their face plastered on this channel didn't even know what the initials of the name meant. Wow. How? I can't even fit that in my head, that they didn't even realize that Microsoft was the reason for the MS and that Microsoft ditched them because they were such a garbage network. Now let's jump over. I want to show you some of these reactions. This is kind of funny. We're going to jump here to mediasite.com and look at some of these hilarious reactions from, say, celebrities and other news people. And it kind of sums up what I know is going to happen, that this is the end of it. Whoops, that's not the right story. Here we go. It's on the wrap.com. All right, so let's scroll down and look at some of these reactions, and it says it all. So here's Yashar Ali. MSNBC is changing its name to MSNOW, my source for news, opinion in the world. Not a joke. Yeah, it is a joke, and this is just the worst logo. This plain lettering and this jacked up logo. That's awful. With these conflicting colors, it just doesn't work. So MSNBC changing its name to MSNOW is one of the worst branding disasters in media history. I agree. The logo looks like it belongs on a discount computer from 1998, not a serious news network. Absurd. And then they've got this, I love the reaction from Obama picture here. I tried to play that, but it won't play. That's a GIF. Here we go. There we go. Yeah, that's appropriate. David Levitt says MSNBC changing their name to MSNOW is like HBO changing their name to Max and Facebook changing its name to Meta and Twitter to X, except this is a lot worse. Much, much worse. The bottom line, the bottom of the main line says MSNBC's horrible rebrand is going to bring Americans together again. Thanks, MS Now. If you get married, will you be Mrs. Now? I suppose so. Ingrand, the seventh day Kusi says, here's how we get more viewers. We don't change a thing. Same staff, same stories covered. Everything's exactly the same. But we changed the name from MSNBC to MS Now. Yeah, that'll work. Aaron Rupar does this retweet here, and it says, MS Max was taken? Just kidding. Did MSNBC hire the same consultants HBO's overlords used to change its name 10 times? I don't think they're going to get a chance to change their name 10 times because they're going to go out of business. They're telling them, you got to be entrepreneurial, which, as I stated, that means they're going to have to make money. And they're not going to make money because they're going to continue pushing the same bullcrap with the same people who didn't even know why the name was MSNBC. Now, the last one, Cameron Mole says, in the early 2000s, I was this close to moving our family to Seattle for a role as essentially creative director of digital MSNBC. Though my affinity for the brand has waned, I still think about that opportunity from time to time. This rebrand leaves me a little speechless. Yeah, he dodged a bullet. He dodged a complete bullet right there because he would have been out of a job had he made that switch. The Doctor says, MS Now is so ugly. Nah, I'm still going to call the network MSNBC. Same with Twitter. I'm going to keep calling it BSNBC or BS Now. So if you like your BS and like to tune in, hey, it'll still be there for the time being. And I'm going to still watch and look for some great new conspiracy theories and look for Rachel Mad Cow to go on her rants foaming at the mouth. I mean, how bad is it that they had to dump Joyless Reed because she was so far over the left edge of crazy that it wasn't even possible to keep her on the network. But I think Rachel Madcow is as bad or worse than Joyless Reed. So I honestly think this is the end of it. But let me know what you think. Do you enjoy BSNBC? And do you think it has any value or a snowball's chance in hell of producing a profit where they can cover their expenses and continue going? I don't. Like, comment, subscribe, share this video with a friend, and we'll see you on the next one. I got some good reaction videos coming your way, and we're going to hit some hot topics and have some fun. That's all I got for now. This is Carlton, and I am out.